What's going on, guys? It's Corey from Colorado Cold Bloods.
And Aaron from Colorado Cold Bloods.
And we have another clutch update for you. So, this clutch is clutch number 10. This was our male banana pied to a normal female. This was in the goal of, honestly, making more bananas, and it's not a bad thing to have some het pieds. If we accidentally stumbled onto a female banana het pied, that would have been fantastic. So, anyway, with that being stated, this is, again, clutch number 10. Sometimes you just do stuff to make certain things for additional growth, right? So, our first is our male. This is our boy Banana Pied. I know it's a very clever name right now.
He's not named right now, but we do name every one of our snakes. I just haven't been creative.
It gets a lot more difficult once you exceed 100.
Yeah, and I'm past the point of book characters and movie characters, so now I gotta get clever.
Yep.
But we picked him up over from Dave, as I call him, because he's not Dave anymore. He's kind of Dave now. Over at Custom Scales. Sorry, he changed his name. So we got him over at from Dave at Custom Scales.
And then we have our female. Like I mentioned, it is a normal. You can tell she's a very good sized normal. She is a frozen eater. She's one of the primary frozen eaters in the collection, actually. So this girl actually came from Jason over at Morphomixology. She's just been a solid breeder for us. So whenever we're looking to add some additional genetics or things that just do well at shows or are nice animals, like
getting bananas.
Exactly. She puts out very strong babies, healthy babies, and usually does pretty solid on the egg counts. So you never underestimate the power of a normal in your collection. That's something I tell people all the time. In this particular case, yes, we're not using her for something that's very specific in that sense. However, one of the key things to keep in mind with your normals, if you ever have that 6, 7 gene animal in your collection that you want to confirm all of those items are there, run it to a normal. Yes, you can run it to another animal such as a clown or a tri-stripe or a xanthic, hypo, something,
pied.
Right? Pied. But a lot of times you have to keep in mind that there are certain het influences that come into play. So it can influence your identifications if you're trying to confirm an animal has certain things. So
we've actually done that. We've used a normal to try to separate genes, and it was actually successful.
Yep, absolutely. So anyway, never underestimate the power of a nice, strong normal. And in general, even in the pet market, there's a reason that these animals became popular, right? So don't underestimate it. That's a whole other topic for another video. But in general, clutch number 10, banana pied to our normal. And with that, we will move on to our unknowing unofficial sponsors. In this particular case, it is OK Balls. So we both have our shirts on for OK Balls. We have not acquired any animals from them, but we have definitely hung out with
shows with them, and they're super nice people.
They're fantastic. They're nice, great people, and honestly, they have beautiful animals.
They really do.
So their table is always a temptation. So I try and hide behind ours so that way I don't get tempted whenever they're there. So with that, anything you want to add to that?
No.
Alrighty.
I think you got it all.
Let's jump into clutch number 10. What's going on, guys? This is Corey, and I'm back, and I'm awkward as usual, right? It's really strange not telling you it's Corey from Colorado Cold Bloods at the beginning of these portions, knowing that we are doing the intros now. So, completely messes up my groove. Alrighty, with that, I say let's jump into clutch number 10. So again, this was our banana pied to our normal. So we did get some interesting little variation going on in here. So I will kind of show a little bit, but we actually had, I think it was 8 eggs if I remember correct. So we will jump in and take a look. Okay, so we have a normal. And very pretty normal. So what's interesting here is obviously, yes, it's a normal. This was a normal to our banana pied. So what's interesting though is some of these bands across are a little bit thicker, and on top of that, we have some kind of extra bright blushing on the top of the back of the head here. Now, yes, this is a normal. I do feel like this is a normal, but it does show some of the cool variation that you can get in them. I almost can feel like something else is going on, but you can definitely see those het pied trackings going on here. Very, very prominent on those tracks all the way down from about, last third of the animal. So very, very cool. There we go. Trying to get it to focus for you. So there's one of the normals. We have another normal here. But again, as we progress through this, you're going to see even with these normals, there's just something different here. Your standard normal is going to have a full black head coming all the way down those backs of the neck here, and so it's just a little bit different. It is a normal, but very, very cool. Like I said, more kind of blushing and thickening on these things. But yeah, and again, those massive het pied markers. So very, very, very cool. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'll stop manhandling you. And the third one here is also a normal. So again, we go back to the back of that head. Look how bright the back of that head is. Kind of like flaming, blushing, blah, 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 all that fun naming convention, right? This one's not quite as thick on the bands that go across, but you'll see some of this cool stuff like this here. And that's similar to what's going on the back of the neck, right? So I find that very fascinating. I don't know what's going on here, but either way, I just think it's kind of a cool setup, even if they're straight normals. You got that crazy cool kind of ringer. So whenever you get some of these ringers that don't actually produce the white, they tend to do that kind of extra orange effect. And you'll see that on the other side of this animal as well. If you actually look right underneath the ringer on the belly, it's stark white because it's trying to become a ringer. Sorry, trying to get him to behave for a second. So hopefully you can kind of see the contrast difference. I know the light's probably making it weird with the shine. So anyway, very, very cool with that extra orange on that tail because of the het pied. Alrighty. So now we will jump into the bananas. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. There is one of our bananas. Now, with this clutch, we did learn that our banana pied boy is a male maker. So we did not hit the female that we're hoping for here. So I can show that real quick. Here's how we pop them. So just kind of put a little bit of pressure on this back here and roll it up like toothpaste. And then from there you can see the little hemipenes. So anyway, with that, nice, beautiful banana, nice high white sides going on here. You get, again, you look at that little bit like blushing on the back. That does happen a little bit with banana anyway, right? So either way, very, very cool. We do have some interesting variation in some of these animals too. So there is another banana. So this one's pretty cool because if you look at the top of that head, you get that extra like orange stamp. I just think it's kind of neat. That extra little uniqueness to this animal, right? This one is a little bit brighter in orange and a little lower on that white, right? So you compare that to this one. Look at those white sides, right? Very different. So this is kind of more like that blushing style, although more of the blushing that's happening on the normals is actually up in the black areas, or what would be the black areas. So neat combinations here. All right, and since this one's trying to escape on the other side, yet another banana, but again, you got a little bit more of that orange stamp. It's not quite as bright as the last one. So, but again, this one's higher in orange than this one, and this one tends to be much higher on those whites. Look at those white sides. Very, very neat. Already starting to get some of your little melanin spots, which is kind of funny considering that this animal is so young. Typically, after first shed, they don't have any melanin spots. So it's pretty interesting to see that this one already has one kicked off here. And no, it's not a mite. It's not dirt. It's not reptichip, anything like that. It's a melanin spot. So very, very cool. I love those high whites on these. That's one of the reasons that kind of hitting calico into bananas and stuff like that, that already kind of produces a bit of this white, really, really reacts. We don't have calico in this pairing. I'm not saying we do, but that is something that I find reacts nicely with bananas and other things that produce white. So very, very cool. Nice high white sides again, right? So I love how these animals turned out. These almost have that deeper, darker purple, almost like they've got like black pastel or something like that in the mix, but these don't have the black pastel cinnamon type of look either, considering, you know, that they're with banana. But they do have some of that kind of appearance. You see some of the extra, like, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but they're extra like circles in those black zones, right? So you see one up here, one over here, some more back here on the tail. So it's kind of extra blushing. So it's very, very neat to kind of see how that interacts. So, all right, and now we have the last banana. So, again, very, very similar to the rest. It's got those high white sides going, not quite as high as the last one I just showed you, but it has a little bit of that orange stamp. You've got that extra blushing that's going on in those black zones, right? And that's really interesting because you get that nice stripe going on there and that nice stripe going up here. It's just it's like something's going on here. But, you know, again, they're definitely bananas. They look like bananas. So, I don't know. It's just a curiosity. That's one of the reasons we love hatching the animals that we do, right? You get so much variation and you get to see so many different varieties of things going on, even in, you know, all these different bananas or these different normals, right? There's just stuff going on. Now, you know, sometimes breeders will sit there and look at that and they'll try and reproduce some of these things, etc., because they might be new combos or you name it, right? But in general, we don't really chase that. You know, if we start to see a trend with these, then we may figure it out. But overall, there we go. So we got lots of little bananas and a few good ones. A few good normals in there too. But all of these, obviously, 100% het pied. Their dad was a visual pied. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I know it was a lot of the same here, but some cool stuff, right? Like, again, look at the back of that head versus the back of that head. You know, so much brighter in the white zone. Up here, same in white. Darker and darker, right? So very interesting to see the variations going on here. But again, I'll actually close it out this time and say don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We appreciate every one of you. And hopefully we will see you guys in the next one.